Hello, welcome. It's Gen2, it's Draft League, and we are casting tonight. And also, you can see me on the camera, my face, for the first time, maybe ever, on my YouTube channel. No, I've been on camera before, but it's been a long time. Definitely a first for the Draft League. Um, but yeah, today you saw the title of the video, and you can see on screen over there, there, up in the corner. There's we're watching the Black Death versus the Mount Coronet Commanders. So I have word from Carter. He's gonna ping me whenever they're about to start. But I thought while we wait for that, we can pull up the teams and talk a little bit about some expectations for the matchups. Just have that up front in this video. Now, we've already sort of talked about it, Carter and I, on the matchup look ahead. But just as a little refresher, let's get into these teams and sort of what we expect from them. So there we go. Bring you over here. Alrighty, so yeah, we got the Black Death right here on the left versus the Coronet Commanders there on the right. Unlogoed. Oh, excuse me, for the time being. So let's talk about it. Obviously, the Black Death, the first two picks are Murkrow, Typhlosion. So that's a really powerful combination. Typhlosion brings a lot of damage to the table. However, if you look across to the Commanders team, you see that they don't really have many Pokemon that are afraid of Typhlosion. And in fact, Tyranitar is probably one of the better matchups versus Typhlosion, and that's the star of the team. Houndoom, also very good versus Typhlosion. Suicune, pretty good. Typhlosion is lacking. I'm yawning like crazy. Typhlosion is lacking in coverage options, and these Pokemon resist Typhlosion's moves. Like, the only exceptions are Skarmory and Meganium. The rest don't care that much. Even Togetic. I don't remember. Is it Fire resists Fairy? I should know, but I don't. Oh, Fire resists Fairy. So that's not a bad matchup with the Togetic. But Togetic's super tanky anyway. Yeah. So then that kind of leaves the question of how does Carter play without Typhlosion? What can the Black Death bring to the table? Because I think the core options for the Coronet Commanders are pretty solid, like pretty safe. So they're probably not going to need to adjust too much. But what they should think about is what Carter's thinking about, which is how do I beat them without Typhlosion? So the obvious choice is probably Heracross. Murkrow still comes, I mean, it always comes. It can still do a lot with Prankster. Heracross, a lot better of a matchup. It doesn't match up well. It's like okay into Houndoom. It's okay into Tyranitar. It's okay into Togetic. Not great versus Skarmory, and kind of whatever versus Suicune. I think that essentially the Heracross can do a lot, though, with Murkrow supporting it. giving it a tailwind speed boost, so it can outspeed the likes of Houndoom. It can do a lot of damage. There's a big question of how you're going to get rid of Togetic, because when Togetic's protecting Tyranitar, it's really spooky. And Heracross is strong, but also vulnerable to dying to Tyranitar and Houndoom if they do get an attack off into it. The next best thing is Mantine. Mantine is pretty good. It's like not great into Tyranitar necessarily, but I just want to make sure I'm not missing the game. I am missing the game. Alright. Here we go. We did not get a ping, but that's okay, because we noticed the game. Oh, also I realized my background is still Gen 1. I totally forgot about that. I need to make this background image like a different image. I wonder if I can make it like some Gen 2 thing. While we wait for this match. You know what? It's fine. It can be Gen 1 for now. We can fix it later. Okay, so let's see what are the brings here. And the Terra types, because I think it's interesting to see. So we have Terra Electric Tyranitar. That's very interesting. That's very spooky for Mantine. I guess that's probably why, or just because, like, I don't know what else you're trying to deal with. It's usually Terra Flying Tyranitar, so I would have, like, defensively, so I would have to assume that that's, like, an offensive type. Probably an anti-Mantine thing. Terra Steel is really interesting for Galarian Wheezing. We have Ice on Suicune. That makes sense. Yeah. And then Carter opting to bring Vileplume. I like the Vileplume bring. It is good against most of what the Commanders have to offer. But yeah, let's just get into it. So here we go. It's Death and Boys. So Murkrow and Heracross leading with Skarmory and Tyranitar. So this Tyranitar is pretty exposed. Now you can go Terra Electric, obviously, to avoid the fighting type moves. But this Heracross should be able to outspeed Tyranitar, especially Murkrow helping it. And that's going to put Tyranitar in, like, serious danger. Now, conversely, Skarmory can get a KO onto, like, an easy KO pretty much into Heracross. So if Tyranitar just protects, that's bad. So Carter does, or the Black Death doesn't, they do need to be careful here because they're both threatening the Oko. So protect just to scout out. Taunt goes into the Skarmory. Skarmory was just using Drill Peck. And then Thunder Punch, instantly killing. So yeah. But now, okay. So the Terra Electric will protect the T-Tar. The Skarmory is taunted, but it's definitely threatening to just Oko Heracross. I'm not sure Heracross can deal with T-Tar now. And now we have Mantine, aka War, out on the field. And it's in serious danger of a Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch could easily take it out at any time. So type matchup's not super favorable for this Mantine. I don't know what the last Mon is for the Black Death. But yeah, this is a spooky Mantine. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So the Rock Slide comes out doing a little bit of damage. War, okay, Mantine goes into the Terra Electric to protect itself. And then uses a Scald into Skarmory, doing pretty significant damage to that Skarmory. The Rock Slide does not do much from the Heracross, I'm going to be honest. It's pretty mid. But it flinches the Skarmory, which is a very key flinch, and allows Heracross to live for one more turn. So Heracross could get just a nice close combat. I think close combat is like big damage. You don't need the flinch quite anymore because the Scald should finish off Skarmory. And you could be looking at a double KO for Black Death on this turn. Suicune comes out, wide guard to block Rock Slide, and Brick Break goes into Suicune. That rock slide will get blocked entirely by wide guard. Really nice wide guard play. But the sand is slowly chipping down Heracross. Heracross is certainly dead on the next turn. A burn and sand chipped it down to only 3%. We're looking at Suicune at 48 after the Brick Break and the Sandstorm chip. And then we have Tyranitar at 57, Mantine 39, and like I said, Heracross at 3. So I think similar situation. Black Death is putting a lot of pressure onto the opposing team, onto the Commanders. If they switch out Heracross, decide to preserve it for a little bit longer, the wide guard comes out again. Snarl blocks that wide guard. What is Tyranitar going for? Knockoff will finish off the Mantine, and now we have Vileplume out on the field, and Heracross coming out as well. So we have one more attack to come from Heracross. We've already lost Murkrow and Mantine, which means this Vileplume has a lot of work to do because not a single KO has been taken on the side of the Black Death. The Commanders are still rocking every single Pokemon in that arsenal. Now, Brick Break does finish off the Tyranitar. Ice Beam goes into the Vileplume, but it'll Giga Drain back a lot of that health and finish off Suicune. Now, Heracross is going down. Burn, Chip will finish it. And now it is Vileplume versus Skarmory and Togetic. And I just don't think Vileplume can get this done. Now, it does have Sludge Bomb, which can do big damage to Togetic, but one attack from Skarmory is probably curtains for the Black Death. Unless he, like, misses a Drill Peck. If the Skarmory, if he misses Drill Peck, that could maybe buy one more turn, but I just don't know. Yeah, no, it's over. Okay, the Drill Peck does connect, and then the game is won. And then we'll go to game 2. All right. Commanders take game 1. The Black Death are going to have to figure out a way to turn things around and get a game for themselves in game 2. Yeah, the Ice Beam, I think... Or sorry, the Thunder Punch, the Terra Electric Tyranitar Thunder Punch, I think caught the Black Death off guard. For sure, taking out that Murkrow really fast. And then I am wondering if Heracross is even running close combat. Because it seems like it would have been a pretty easy, like, to just take a KO on Tyranitar with like a close combat or something. But it might, I mean, Heracross might not have it. Because he was choosing Brick Break, which I just don't know why you choose Brick Break if you have close combat. So I think that would indicate to me, like, oh, they're not running close combat on Heracross. Because Brick Break is, I mean, it breaks screens, but you don't have screens right now. So now Mantine's coming out. There's a different lead, game 2. Let's see what's going to happen. So, Murkrow into Togetic Tyranitar. Murkrow Mantine into Togetic Tyranitar from the Commanders. So, sand is up. Togetic's putting a lot of pressure. But, of course, we can see Taunt into that Togetic. Plus, like, a Wide Guard or a Protect or something. Wide Guard might be desirable. But, of course, Tyranitar could basically Thunder Punch either slot and get a KO if it doesn't go into a Protect. So we do see the Terra Electric plus the Wide Guard. Taunt comes out into Togetic. Okay, it's Knockoff actually into Mantine, getting Mantine down to 4%. Huge. Such a powerful knockoff. Oh my goodness. And now Mantine's basically dead. One more Sandstorm tick and Mantine's dead. So it's a pretty easy play for the Commanders to just protect T-Tar and, like, just attack with Togetic or something, because this Mantine can't stay on the field. I mean, you could go for a swap. Yeah. I would like to see... Okay. Scald and a Rain Dance, but oof. I mean, Tyranitar just survives that. Just survives it with 45% left to go. We see Assault Vest and Heavy Duty Boots. So, yeah, the Assault Vest, that's how that T-Tar is able to survive all that. And now I see the other two from the Black Death. It's Vileplume and Hisuian Typhlosion coming out this time around. I just don't know what this Typhlosion does. Maybe it has a move that is surprising. But I don't think it does much to this pair. I think the goal with the Typhlosion was to hopefully have it in the later stages. Oh, Eruption, just straight up. It doesn't do almost anything. And then the Scald will kill it immediately. Giga Drain goes out, finishing off Tyranitar, and it's once again Vileplume versus the world. The thing is, if Skarmory is anywhere on the team, yeah, and it is coming out now, there's just no way Vileplume can deal with Skarmory. Vileplume does well against a lot of the Pokemon, but not Skarmory. And I think that's going to be a clean sweep from the Commanders. They are 3 versus 1 right now with super effective moves. The Giga Drain will take a lot of health back, but the Drill Peck will finish off the Flower. And that is 2 games. Pretty clean 2-0 for the Commanders. Yeah, that Typhlosion just... it's just a brutal matchup for the Typhlosion, and that's gonna be the game. Thanks for tuning in. Well played both sides. And looking forward to future games. So excited that the Gen 2 Draft League is kicking off.